Hey YouTube family, it's Diana with Homeschoolific, and I wanted to do this video. Actually, this is my second time recording this video, but this country life is loud and it was windy and rainy and you couldn't hear a lot of what I was saying. It's the second time I'm recording this video. I thought as I'm getting ready to go out on Sunday afternoon, very late, I got a little bite here from a bug. And it looks weird. But I thought I would do a video chit-chatting with you guys about what is it like to live in Texas. We're almost 4 years under our belt. And what do I think of Texas? And the funny part is I have recorded this video. This will be my third time because I did do this video 2 years in. And to be honest, I was too negative, so I had to delete it. So, and not just Texas, but like homesteading. Like we live a homestead life, and this was somewhat new to our family. Well, completely new in this aspect. Like we've lived rural. We ain't lived Texas rural. That is a whole different thing. So I'm going to just start getting myself together to go out here with these goats. It is late. I was supposed to milk her 7 o'clock this morning, and it is 1:23 because I wasn't getting my life together last night. Yeah, anyway. So the skinny is, we actually are loving our homestead life. There are some downsides, and I'm going to talk to you guys about it. But as I tend to navigate towards, I guess, a pessimistic side. People call it pessimistic. I call it realism. But I heard somebody talking about it yesterday on a video. I felt judged. He said that people make decisions from a place of anxiety. I don't really call myself an anxious person. I'm really not. I'm very classic American and just move forward. I'm a zennial, and I probably go towards the side of the Gen Xers in some ways, but I was coddled and loved, so I'm very millennial too. So, but personality wise and the way that I push through things, it's very, I'd say Gen X, you just do the dang thing. So I don't know that I do things from anxiety standpoint, but I like to know what could possibly go wrong. So in that, most people see that as a pessimistic side, but for me, it's just a way of preparedness. But apparently that could be a form of anxiety, I guess. I don't know. I'm just like my dad in this. This is just what we do. If I know what could be the worst case scenario, then I can prepare for as many things as possible. And while I probably won't be prepared for everything, and I'm aware of that and I'm okay with that, it gives me a sense of peace knowing that I did the best I can. All that to say, I'm going to give you the good stuff because I can easily see the negative and I got no problems with it. Positive. This life that we live, I'm sitting in my sunroom right now, preparing to getting my boots and stuff on. Got this beautiful view outside. It's quite lovely from here, and my big oak tree is sitting out there and everything, and so it's a beautiful view from here, and I love those kind of things, and it's in my DNA to live this life. I've learned more about how much of my family on my dad's side, and some people even on my mom's side, have lived or currently does live this life that I wasn't even aware of because it's just so much into my DNA. So I feel at home in it, and which is really crazy because anyone that knows me from childhood, I'm quite a princey girl. I'm girly girl. But I don't like being afraid of anything. Again, just classic American, push forward, move forward, always heading forward. That's just that's also in my bones. It's also in my DNA. That's just what we do as a country, as a culture. Sometimes for the, I don't know about now, but classically push forward. And sometimes it's not always for the best, but this is what we do. It's just who we are. So this life is in my DNA. It's in who I am. It's in what I stand for. Could I be happy without this life? Absolutely. I am a firm believer, again, just going back to my roots, whether it be my 96% or 94% roots, I think Africans are really good about making good of anything. And I'm mostly Nigerian, Sierra Leone, and I believe that, like in my roots, like we can make home a home. Like we can do it, right? Plus, I'm a woman. Like that's what we do, right? So, can I be happy in the city? I was happy in the city. I had let go that I was going to ever have this life, and I was happy. I was fine, and I was okay with that, right? So, yes, I could be happy with that, but I feel complete. Do I miss things about the city? Yes. We're going to talk about that in the negatives. I love producing things with my own hands. I'm not an artist. I'm not incredibly smart. I don't have a thing that a lot of people do. But what I can do is I can produce with these hands. I can make, I can put seeds in the ground, and I can cultivate plants, and I can raise up animals, and I can practice husbandry, and I can practice making things from nothing. And in this time of inflation, my husband and I looked at it and we were like, can we save money on our grocery bill? And I took it on, and we did, and we've not missed anything. And we actually still do buy most of our meat from the grocery store. Our stuff for like our beef, but we're only like once or twice a week beef people, like ground, and then maybe some steak at best once a week. So while having our own cow in the freezer does save us money, we don't eat so much of it. We're more chicken people, and while we do raise our own chickens and we do slaughter them sometimes, we eat so much chicken, we would have to slaughter a lot more than we do. And we're just not there yet. And I'm not in any hurry just yet. I have all the capabilities. I've done it. I know how to do it. I've gained the skills. And when I'm ready, we will. But we're not. Right now, we're going towards rabbits. Because why not? I learn something new almost every day. I learn a new skill every day. My brain loves learning. I am an avid learner. And I don't mean this just in like, it's just stupid random information, which I do love that too. But I mean, like, I love learning things. I love picking up skills. And it gives my brain this beautiful itch that it needs. I love that, right? So, and this is what homeschooling does for me too. Like, I get to learn so many things as a homeschooler with my kids. And so my brain is constantly being stretched and pulled, and I love it, right? I get frustrated, but then when I find it, oh, it's the best dopamine rush ever. So all that I love. I love all that stuff. The learning comes at a curve. It does hurt sometimes, a lot of times, but once you get it, it's nothing like it. So, we lack nothing we need. And the cool thing is, like, God provided for us on this property. There's so many things that this property has for us, and we just find nuggets. Like, we wanted a little forest because our property is quite clear, and then we didn't realize that we owned part of the property that was outside of our fence, and it's a little forest. I have these beautiful ground cherries that grow, and I didn't even know that they were like, I thought they were like a small tomatillo, and they're so delicious. They taste like candy. I actually think I'll go grab me some and eat some soon. And yeah, it produces very well in like just there's a lot of work that needs to be done, but my property lacks nothing. I have what I need and I want here. We even made our own hand soap in one of my homeschool classes. Based off of things here on the property. We took soap nuts that grow here. I didn't do that. They grow here on my property. And then we mixed it with some strawberry mint. It smells amazing that I grow. And it was just so beautiful. It was such a nice soap. And, we just put it in a foaming hand pump, and it was great. It was fantastic. And so things like that. Fuels me. So that is the positive. The negative is when I leave this property, I still feel like a visitor. I still don't feel like home, and I still miss home. I miss home so much. And I think the most I missed about home is one, my family. I miss my family. I have 2 grown boys still living in Las Vegas, and it hurts daily, guys. I could cry right now. It hurts daily. It'll be 4 years in November, and it still hurts daily to be away from my babies. My son was sick, really sick recently. My mom and dad went and took care of him. I asked him, what did he want? He said he just wanted a kiss on the forehead from his mom. He's 24. And I know what that's like. I've had times where I've been away from my mom and I just ball up and I cry because I just want my mom's hug so bad. I know, I get that so much. Sometimes it's just nothing like the hug of your mom. So that's very hard, obviously. The other thing that's very hard is that, you know how they say you're gonna be Texas tough? Texas is a tough place to live. That's why everybody's Texas tough, you guys. Like this bite I got on my face. Well, you know, things didn't bite me, almost never. Rarely have I been eaten up as I have been here. I am lunch, dinner, a whole day's meal, and the snack for many a critters, and they do enjoy my blood over most of the other family. I don't know why. A couple of us are old type in here. I don't know what's happening. But yeah, they do. The streets in Las Vegas are well kept and doesn't tear up my car like they do here. Both my and my husband have gone through a set and a half of tires. Culture is different. It's very different. I've always been very proud of being Black. I've mentioned I'm 94% African. I love that. I love my heritage, both my American, my 4% European. You know, I'm okay with that. History is history, but it doesn't mean that I can't embrace, you know, that DNA in my blood. And I love it, but I never had to like wear it on me. And I'm also told that this is probably unique to me because of my upbringing. But let me tell y'all, here, you feel it. You know it. And there is no surprise. There's no forgetting it, I guess. And that might be because I come from the West Coast coming here. It might be that we are a melting pot on the West Coast, where in the South and most other places it's a gumbo. And I had to learn that that gumbo is good too. Fondue is good, but so is gumbo. I'm navigating through that. I've not had to feel this way. I lived in Arkansas. I probably was just really oblivious. It came up, it did, and it was kind of weird sometimes. But I was in my 20s. I was just like, are you that old? You know, because that's what I always think. It's like, oh, wow, you're that old that you still think about race? Oh, you're so crazy. Now I'm like, oh, well, it's a different world, you know? It's a different history. It's a different culture. Oh, something I do love about Texas. Oh, the history. Oh, ooh, good itch, guys. Oh, the museums. Oh, the libraries. Yeah. Wow. The education. All the college options. Ooh. Yeah. I'm sorry. They got it going on. It's good. It's good. Yeah. Downside, I can't use any of the public school stuff in my local independent school district. Booty. I'm calling cap on that one. No. Yeah. But and I pay taxes. Very high taxes. This part of Texas is very high taxes. Coming from Nevada, our taxes are some of the lowest in the country. What I pay a month here is what my mom and dad pay for their house for a whole year, and their house was probably 20% more than what mine is, less than what mine is. You know, when I bought it. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing right there. It was one of the first things that really got me, was how expensive it is to live here too. While inflation has hit us all and is expensive everywhere, like that's just what it is. It is still much cheaper in Nevada. Now, obviously, I wouldn't get the kind of land I get here. There's no way this would be an act of God for me to afford. Like, we would have to be multimillionaires to afford the amount of property we have here in Nevada. It's just, even though the land is butt ugly, it's very expensive to live on large lots of land there. So you get a lot of land here because they put more value here in your home versus your land, where Las Vegas is vice versa. Our walls in Las Vegas are also paper thin, so that's concrete. It looks like wood, but I forgot what it's called. My uncle-in-law told me, but it's actually a concrete made to look like wood. So yeah, they do a really good job in the construction often here, and like my house is brick, so I love it. Back to the things that's hard. Church is so different here. If you're a Christian, you may or may not understand this. Like, if you've not moved around, you may not get this. I did not understand I've learned that there is a Christian culture. It's kind of like when somebody has an accent from somewhere else and you're like, I don't have an accent, you have an accent. And then you realize that we all have an accent, but you grew up with your accent, everybody's speaking like that around you. So you're not aware that, you're the one with the accent as well as they are. Well, it's the same thing with church culture. There's a church culture in most places, in every place. And when you grow up and you live in a place that's called Sin City, you bring together a certain type of Christians that are not in it for the culture, because it's not a Christian culture out there at all. It's quite the opposite. I'll be honest, guys, I don't even know how to fight that one yet. I'm learning. That's another video, or maybe that's a private conversation with some personal friends. But yeah, if you are a believer, I would ask for some prayers on that one, because I am struggling. I really am struggling with that. Homeschooling is very different here. Lavonda and I have touched on this. They're very academically pushed there. I'm here versus in Las Vegas. We are not. Maybe not for the best, I don't know. But this video is getting long, so I'm going to wrap it up. But yeah, these guys are smart, and they don't care as much about the social. They want to do school together. The co-ops, the homeschool groups exist for co-ops predominantly. There are a few in between, but there are predominantly homeschool groups for co-ops. If you do some other things together, great, but that's not the purpose. Where for us in Las Vegas, our homeschool groups exist for social reasons, and then if we could, we did classes together. Because we were homeschoolers, we considered that in the home so that we could do our own individual thing. If we did classes together, most of us, some of us did the classical conversations or more academic, but predominantly most of our classes in co-ops were meant to be electives, your electives. And so, that is not the case here. While we do have elective choices, it is more geared towards the academics. And so that has come into a blessing for me, but I have had to change the way I homeschool, and that has been a challenge as well. I have given up so much, and we all have, guys. I'm not, it's not just me. All of us have given up so much in the last 4 years, almost 4 years. And our lives are so different, and I'm in the stages of mourning, and I'm at the acceptance stage of mourning because I have mourned my old life. I'll give you guys this one last analogy, and then I'm going to get ready to go so I can get out here to this goat. I'll put some B-roll in here so y'all can see some stuff. But one of the things that I enjoy doing living in Nevada, and I'm not saying this to boast, I'm saying it because I think a lot of us are in this place right now. That right above the poverty line is not a great place. It's almost easier to be like below or well above than to be right there where you don't get help. And people don't understand that. And most people in the middle class actually live this way for a good chunk of your lives until you get to a certain point. Well, finally, my husband and I had made it to this point. We're self-employed, and self-employment comes with ups and downs, but we finally had achieved this place before the shutdowns happened. For years, I don't know, I don't know, it had been a little while, not decades or anything like that, but it had been, I don't know, 5, 6 years, I don't know, where we no longer had to worry about a lot of the issues that our middle class life came with. It's middle class and self-employed. It's a whole thing. Like, people just really don't understand how difficult that is, right? So, anyways, I got to like live this life, this fruit of this hard work that we've done. I have not always been a stay-at-home mom. I worked for the first 15 years of being a mom. I have worked since I was 13, maybe 12 actually. Yeah, since I was 12, I was working. I've worked. And it's not like I got to just be a stay-at-home mom once I started having kids. No, I was in labor with my first son at work, my second son at work, my third son. No, not my third son, because I was on bed rest. So it was kind of like at the point where we had to either like be okay with, I was probably going to miscarry him, or not work. So we moved in with my parents and I stayed on bed rest. But after that, like, he barely was 6 weeks. I went right back to work. And then my fourth son, I worked up until I physically couldn't anymore. And then I was back at work when he was 3, 4 weeks old. So when I tell you that I have grind and I have pushed and I have done what is needed to do, this stay-at-home mom life did not come for me easily. And frankly, I did not go of my work life easily. I fought for that. God pried it kind of out of my hands in a sense. Not really, but story for another time. So when I tell you this part, I'm not saying it in like, oh, I've always had it. I'm saying we clawed, scratched, and pushed our butts. And I can't even tell you how much work my husband has done to get to where we got to. Financially, we were great. We were fine. I was able to take care of myself, regular spa days, get my hair and nails done regularly, shop once a month, still get everything done for my kids, and all the things that we had done. And we were just really getting to live this very fulfilled life that we had pushed for so long, which was great. Well, COVID came and it really wrecked a lot of that. Even though business ended up like dropping really bad, but then coming back. Once we moved here, the cost of living was just so much higher. We never got that back. So when I tell you that I've lost a lot of things, and then inflation came. So my husband is making more money than he's made even before the shutdowns, which is crazy. And I think, oh my gosh, like this is like everything we've been dreaming of, but we don't feel it. Really. We feel it in the beauty that we live in, and praise God for it. We feel it in the fact that I'm watching people on YouTube, TikTok, and how much my heart is breaking for what they're going through financially, and how we're able to like hold it together. And we honestly don't know all the time, because sometimes it ain't working out on paper, I'll be honest. But we feel it in that. But this inflation has taken so much. So while I'm going through the grieving process of all the things that was lost, not just financially, but missing my family, missing the life that I knew, missing, like, there's not many parts of me that has not been changed since the move. And so now here we are, and I'm at the stage of acceptance. And I went to the mall and I bought a bottle of perfume, because I just wanted to smell pretty for the first time in years in a way that I was used to. And I wasn't going to buy it. I called my husband. I was like, I just need some emotional support. I'm going to take a picture of this. Maybe you get it for me for my birthday. And I don't do this. And I still feel guilty about it, because it's like, it's money we shouldn't have spent. And he says, oh, happy birthday early. Just go ahead and get it. And so I went back immediately and bought that perfume. And it felt good. And then it made me sad, because I thought we would never have to think about those things again. So while I haven't left my acceptance of mourning, that stage of mourning that I'm in right now for that part of, this part, it does re-break my heart sometimes. It does, and I know it's materialistic and it's kind of stupid. I know. I know it's a small thing, but like today when we were at church and my husband leaned over and said, "You smell so good," I was like, yes, it's those little things that you miss, you know? That's also what I miss about city life too. Those little things. I do miss those kind of things. I don't miss it enough to live back in the city though. I never was a city person. But yeah, so we are happy. We are fine. We are just like the rest of you guys, making it through. Not always sure why or how, but we are. But that's it. That's it in a nutshell. So way longer than I expected. All right, love you guys. Hi. Not the best shot of me, but there was one more thing I forgot to mention. The weather here is hard. It's rough. So in my editing, I just wanted to stop and say that.